Y'all know we do everything. Y'all know we are the team.
Yes.
Okay?
So today we got a peep game question. We have 2 peep game questions. One is, how do you decide who you invite to your wedding? This was on The Real. They were talking about it, about, cutting people and, how many people is too many people? Where do you draw the line at? How do you decide who comes to your wedding? What do you think?
I feel like, actually, I've seen something also that said, if you haven't talked to this person in a year, they don't get to come to your wedding.
Right.
But for me personally, I feel like if you don't know anything about my relationship other than what you've seen me post, and if you don't know who I'm with personally, then you don't need to be there. If that makes sense. Like, if you ain't ever met my dude, you don't need to come to the wedding unless you like some type of family, for one. Or, granted, if I haven't talked to you in the course of this relationship, you ain't coming. It's a couple of bullet points to easily knock people off.
I think that if you don't know, okay, of course, let's say this.
I put limitations on that, though, if you don't know my significant other.
Well, not that if you don't know them, but I feel like you need to, I don't think I need a huge wedding. I don't even know that many people, to be quite honest. I'm not that person. But, so I feel like if you don't know how we met, or you don't know, I can say that. If you don't know how we met, I feel like, do you need to be there? I don't know. But, on the show, Adrienne was saying if she wants a really intimate wedding. She's like, if she can't cry in front of you and she don't think her man can cry in front of you or he doesn't feel comfortable crying in front of you, you're not being invited. And that's a good point because you might hit the ugly cry. So, it's but at the same time, if you know me, then already I hope I can, be myself. But I don't know.
That's how I feel.
But I'm also I'm not the person that's going to invite everybody at all. It's probably some family members who's going to get cut because y'all even crazy. My mom probably is going to be like, you should invite them and, whatever. And I'll be like, Mom, I don't even know them. But that's just me, personally.
Yeah, I understand. And that's my family too big to be trying to invite everybody. So, you're getting cut, buddy. And and my thing is, when it comes to weddings and who you invite, don't take it personal if you're not invited. That just means there was a whole long list
budget
of people that just couldn't make it. And look at it this way. You weren't the only person that didn't get invited. You're not out there on the side of the road by yourself.
Ms. K5 said, if parents paying, kind of have to invite a lot of those folks you may not necessarily want to invite, but if it's our money, it's about us. Well, I know my parents ain't paying, so.
Yeah, and that's one thing. One of my friends' sister got married, and her mother had 50 people. They have to be here. Because, and I don't even know if she personally paid, but I know my sister's about to get married, and my mother and father's parents are very slim to none. Only because
their parents?
My mother and my parents' friends are very slim to none. I'm sorry. Only because a lot of the people, though, they know anyway, so it's kind of like y'all have friends there.
Now, see, I definitely wouldn't have to deal with no friends in my family because that would never. My mom don't have no friends really. My dad doesn't either, to be quite honest.
Right.
But what I was saying was, even if my mom was paying, let's say that's the case, my mom's not that type of person to make me invite somebody I don't want to invite because she's paying. But I also know that my parents probably won't be paying for me, so that's cut all that. But anyway.
So, that's the marriage chatter, and that's the peep game.
It's about us and who we love.
So we ain't peeping no more game. That's the end of the peep game, or did you have another?
No, we do. What kind of order? It's a peep game, but they're all kind of. Well, do you want to do a get off your chest? Because I got to get off my chest.
Do the get off your chest, too.
Okay, so we got to talk about people trying to holler at people.
Yes, do this. Yes.
With no reverence. No, I don't know if reverence is the right word.
No, with no reverence to what I may have going on in life.
And when I tell you, and I know we talked about this before on the show, how guys be like, oh, you got a boyfriend? And then you say, yeah, well, can I be your friend? You don't want your girlfriend. You would not want your girlfriend meeting a guy somewhere that's trying to holler at them and then end up being their friend because that was not the intention to begin with. So let's cut that whole
cut the bougie ass.
The second thing is, I don't know, and guys, y'all can tell me if I'm wrong. Do y'all just go push as much as y'all can with a girl until the girl says
She
I
got
have
somebody
a boyfriend, or is it just implied that the girl is single?
because
or,
she's entertaining, not
yeah,
even
because
entertaining
I
you,
feel
but
like we run into the problem where I'm a cool person, I'm a nice person. If you have a sensible conversation or whatever, I'll interact with you. But then people take it as, oh, that's they go ahead to keep flirting and all this or whatever. And it's like it's not even all that. And then I feel like people cross lines that you don't even know exist. Like, you don't even know I have boundaries. Like, if I have a boyfriend, you don't know I have boundaries because you haven't asked. You know what I'm saying? But then when I say I got a boyfriend, or you tripping, or you doing too much, they either don't care because it ain't got nothing to do with them, or they say I didn't tell them. But it's like, you didn't ask either. So it's like, what's the order?
I guess if the person doesn't ask and they continuously are like pushing the nozzle, then you have to say something, because it's not too much running around you can do when the person ain't even concerned about what else you got going on. And one thing I will say about guys, like they real one-sided. Like, I'm not looking to see what's on the other side, because they really don't be concerned.
Yeah,
like, they really don't care.
What they got to do with me?
Yeah, they really don't care about if she talking to somebody or anything. Like, they just don't care at all. And then even when they do, like you said, it's the famous line, like, dang, we can't be friends. Your boyfriend don't want you to have friends. No. And it's like, no, not the friend that like you that just tried to talk to me first before I told you I had a man.
Yeah, because then now your friendship is implying that we going to something else. And
right, or you just trying to be the rebound.
Oh, no, for real.
And it's like, who's trying to set themselves up that short? That's the thing, and that's what really is the bad thing about it, because then it becomes how much self pride do you have to be backseated like that? That's just like the whole boyfriend number two, in a sense, kind of, not really, because we all know a lot of y'all like that. But for certain people, like, that's like their settling point. Some people don't do it to settle. Some people do it because that's what they like. But then you have some guys that really think that that's all they can get, so that's what they take. So it's just like, where is your self-confidence at? Because just like we're worth more, guys,
well,
y'all are worth more.
I don't think it's a self-confidence as much as a lot of guys just got egos, and they feel like,
nothing else matters.
Ain't me. Yeah. Like, I'm going to show you, or you, if you say I talk to somebody, or as far as they're concerned, you're not married.
Yeah, and that's what it is.
Say.
But they don't even ask that.
So, but maybe it's a person that you see at the gym every week. They feel like they got a chance to hit every week. That you get to see them on a regular basis. They gonna try to wear you down, which sometimes works if the girl is single. Somebody can wear somebody down. I'm sure that works. It has worked. But if somebody's in a relationship, I don't know. That just ain't the fight to be. It's too many other girls out here, ain't it?
Dudes have the highest confidence. I think they feel like they'll eventually pull you. Yeah, they don't mind.
But then we also know that girls tend to kind of know, like, if they feeling you or not.
So,
which go back to that whole hard to get thing that we say does not exist. So it's like, if
the girl keep giving you the sign, when you gonna take the sign? Versus you just keep trying your luck. It's like, she already shoes you daily almost. So it's just like,
shoes you.
Yeah, so it's just like, what you trying to do? Like, what you not understanding?
Basically.
But shout out to them guys that are persistent for the wrong reasons.
One day it'll work.
But not
no. You gotta start over with somebody else. But okay. So moving on to our story of the week. That's going to lead us into our topic is Forever Dunkin'.
Forever.
So everybody seen the hashtag Forever Dunkin'. If you haven't, you must be living under a rock.
And some of you guys might be living under a rock.
And some people might not have social media, but if y'all listen to us, y'all probably have social media, because that's how we post.
We're social media.
But yeah, so Forever Dunkin', if you don't know, got married, engaged and married all in the same day. Black couple, beautiful black love story, great. And now they're just doing all this press and all these things, right? So one of the headlines I read was, it was a 9-year love story. So, we all know headlines. They're like clickbait. They want you to click. So, it wasn't really 9-year love story. Let's just say that first. I read the article, and basically they met in 2007, like through a mutual friend somewhere at a club or something. And they were just Facebook friends until 2013. And then,
thank you for the details.
Yes, because,
people be assuming and don't be reading.
In 2013, he Facebooked her if you don't know, she lost a lot of weight. She had like a health scare or whatever. He Facebooked her and told her that she's looking good. She lost a lot of weight, and she gave him her number back. And I don't know if there was any more, but that's how it made it sound. She responded with her number. That's what he said. And so yeah, so then they started dating, and they became a couple at the end of that year, so 2013. Then in 2015, they decided to not have sex until they were married, but they were not engaged at the time because they got engaged all in the same day last week, 2 weeks ago.
This was just something that they discussed.
Yes.
Right.
So the question is, so even though the headline said 9 years and really ended up being 3 years, they started dating 2013.
Normal.
You're right. The question that I was going to use is, how long would you wait to marry somebody or ask somebody to marry you, Chanel? Because the girl also was known for wanting him to marry her. So
right.
I assume the not having sex thing kind of came when she knew she wanted to marry him too, and she's like, well, I want a ring on my finger type of thing. And like her friend, she said in one of her comments, she's been complaining about getting married for the last 2 years and blah blah blah. So it's like, how long would you go waiting?
I don't know. Like,
would you do 9 years?
It wasn't 9 years.
No, I'm asking you.
Today, no. Like, at the age of 27.
And how old are they? Older than us.
At the age of 27, unless it was their 9 years.
And y'all let us know.
On some, because you gotta also, when they said
I mean really 9 years.
Like, dating somebody for 9 years.
Like, in a relationship for 9 years.
No.
Listeners, please let us know.
And then I hope not to think.
Years. Women, would you wait 9 years?
No, but I also, because I like to think that when that time comes for me, it won't have to be that much of a wait. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want to do something, you want to do it. And whether it's 5 months, whether it's next year, you should still, if that's something that you want, you should still feel that way.
Okay.
In that time.
But also, and to put it, into their terms, make it more realistic, they were dating for 3 years. So if she's been complaining for 2 years, she was ready to marry him after year 1. So if that was you and you saying, you could still feel that way even based off of what you just said.
Yeah, you could feel, definitely. But I don't feel like 3 years, I don't feel like that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like it's like, oh my God, I've been dating this guy for 3 years and he still ain't whoop-de-whoop. I don't feel like that's horrible at our age, but I can see why certain women are antsy about it at our age too, because...
And they both had kids, so they probably just...
Yeah, it's just a lot, because 3 years... 3 years, 27, that's 30. And then just to think to have to start over again, you know what I'm saying? I think it's more so like, I don't even have time to waste to be starting over a lot. So if I don't see myself with you, you're not getting any of my time at this point. But if I feel like the time is worth it, and time well spent.
Because the scenario will be, you feel like this is forever, but they haven't made that move.
But they gotta feel like that too.
Even though they do feel it, they just haven't made the move to, whatever. Paco said, according to my theory, you wait forever, but we're still married. That is not a theory.
I don't get it.
According
to my theory, you wait.
You're not really married, basically. Like,
it's how
you're together. No, like you're together forever, but you're not married.
Oh.
I think, yeah.
So basically, he's saying like we don't even have to get married.
Yes,
we can just stay together forever because that's the same thing. Or have
a wedding and you're not really married. Then sign a marriage license.
Yeah, no, that's
not doing that.
Miss K5 said it doesn't take all day to see the sunshine, but I think there's a time frame that you need to get to know someone before you know you want to spend the rest of your life with them. And also, it's about where we are in life too.
Right.
Like, I would hate for my life to be crazy for 9 years. You know what I'm saying? But if it take 9 years for us to get it together and we know end all, end point, that's what we want to do, then that's our thing too.
Because 9 years from here is a good hump. But shout out to Ashley Tiante. 10 years, but they were young. They wouldn't have got married 3 years from them because they would have been 20.
Right.
So it all makes sense in what stage of your life that you're in, for sure. But Ms. K5 can transition us into another question, into the topics, huh? Which I know.
Okay.
I'm saying. She said it takes about getting to know each other. So one of the questions that I put on Facebook was, how long do you date? Would you date somebody until y'all are exclusive or official, right? So one person told me that a lot of people don't really. Well, two people told me this actually. A lot of people don't really have that conversation. It's just kind of like you just going, and then one day somebody introduce you as their boyfriend. You know?
Right. I think that it's no time frame, kind of, sort of. It's just kind of like how you just said. It's kind of like an unspoken vibe, an unspoken feel. But when it gets to the point where I think you know with the introduction.
Well, yeah, you do for sure.
That's
But
it.
I'm saying, but the point was that sometimes it's not a conversation.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's just like that just happens.
I feel like the conversations was when we was in high school, or like, you know, like, are we this or are we that?
Yeah. But on Facebook, a lot of people knew, honey, because they gave me all the answers. And let me just say, my Facebook friends, they are on a mission. They're moving.
Oh yeah, okay. This is about the time too, so I'll wait.
So a lot of people said, everybody said less than a year. We had a 3 month, 6 month, 9 months, 2 months, 7 months. The one person that got dated 2 months after, or becoming official 2 months after they were dating, they now been married for 4 years. My brother said 7 months, and it was his girlfriend or fiance. Apparently, that was the hold up in that. Somebody said it was 1 year before they became boyfriend and girlfriend. But they were exclusively dating 3 or 4 months, which
one person said my husband wanted to marry me after dating for 4 months, but I waited 12 more months. We've been married for 15 years this December. And stuff like that just let you know. And do you think? Okay, that'll be a second question.
Well, you gonna remember it?
Right. Give me this paper. I got a comment on the time too.
Write it down before you forget, and I'll say this.
I'm gonna remember.
No, write it down, please. Somebody said they were off and on for about 5 months. But I don't know how I feel about that. Being off and on when you start.
Oh, are they married?
No, not yet. I mean, no, they're just together. But I'm saying, like, I don't know how I feel about starting off and on. Like, usually we go first and then we off and on. But teach his own. Okay. I got a comment that says, should we really put a time limit on what we want to last forever? Meaning, if you did want to marry that person, it takes so long to really get to know a person. Now, granted, when people do want something, you go get it or you work towards it. But if you're complaining and you aren't really enjoying the months, days, or years of getting to know that person, then that could be the issue of why it's taking so long. And if it takes a long time to get to know somebody, but it don't take I don't feel like it takes a long time for you to know if you can be with a person and want to get to know them every day for the rest of your life. Okay, Chanel.
Because that's really what it is.
Want to get to know them.
It's like every day you learn something else, whether it's bad, whether it's good, whether it's annoying, whatever it is. Like, that's what being married is. Besides all the extra stuff, it's like I'm really getting to know a person inside out every single day. Yeah. And if I'm not learning something about you every single day, then I don't even be with you.
Ladarius said 4 months is decent before a title. But what I was gonna say was, sometimes I think, the time now about the complaining part, which as it pertains to like a forever ducking situation, like she had a kid, and like she talked about how she wanted her daughter to see a good marriage, so I don't know if it's as much as you're so pressed and you're complaining, but as much as you want to make sure that this person does right by you, almost like while she's trying to be an example for her daughter. That's what I feel like it was. So it's kind of like, I guess you get to a point where you like, is he gonna do this or am I wasting time here? And that's really what it boils down to. That doesn't mean you're complaining. That could just all be internal. That's just real. Like, life happens, and if somebody wants to get married and they don't know if you're gonna marry them, that can really wear on them. Not to mention that sometimes people want to get married, like maybe the woman decides she wants to get married, like she knows she wants to marry you. And the guy, he's not there yet to where he's thinking about it, but then he gets there. Then he has to start looking at rings. Maybe you gotta save some money. Then we get in all these factors that could extend the time, but now the girl just wait. So it's like, it's a lot of different factors.
It is, and definitely, which goes into just life and what's going on with life and ourselves and money and all that comes into play when you thinking about.
And how much are we hanging out? Because 4 months hanging out or 1 month hanging out every weekend is less than 1 month hanging out every day. Yeah. So it's like
because if you hanging with somebody for 2 months every single day, that your relationship will grow faster than a person that only hang with somebody. every other weekend we might get up or whatever. We still talk, but being around somebody has a lot to do with, and that interaction has a lot to do with if you can be with that person or not.
And what the person may be going through again with life, because it's like, things that happen make you get to know a person more. So if you met a person and they got laid off, or I don't know, somebody died, any type of thing, like some life event, and you happen to be in their life at that time, y'all may grow closer because it's a whole nother set of emotions. It's not just a regular what you doing today, how was work. It's something really going on. And if y'all tapped into that, then y'all might have a closer connection quicker.
And one thing I did notice about some of the people's comments, it was normally, shockingly, the woman was the one with the reservation. When the man was ready, which is great because the woman really has to be, not saying a man doesn't have to be sure, but a woman has to be sure. Because if a man wants to marry you, speaking of a good man that's not just doing it for other reasons outside of what it is, if a man really wants to marry you, he really wants to marry you. And he's not going to feel like that about somebody else in a year. You know what I'm saying? But still, it's, as women, we do have that reservation for safety.
That's true. But that's what I was going to say. And I like that that's how it was, just because, I'm all I am woman, hear me roar. And I like to think that there are women out there that want something real and think more of themselves to try and get that than to just try and get anything. So if a man is willing to marry them or date them, whatever level they're trying to move to, that the woman is still not just happy to be somebody wanting them. I don't like that. That desperate space get a little tricky, child.
Yes. But I definitely, that's...
Miss K5 said, I keep trying to get my married men friends to listen in and comment. They're going slow. Yeah, have married men.
For real, because that's dope.
Married men that listen, I think.
And we appreciate the feedback from men more so than the women, only because we are women and we pretty much can know to a certain extent what women are thinking, whether we are those types or not,
We can tell you.
But either way, time is like,
that was your question.
Yeah, that's what I had to write it. I knew I was going to remember. Time is just real finicky, though, I feel like. And I feel like it's on some, like, nobody can judge the time of what somebody else got going on, because what I will say, how you said the 9 years was a clickbait, it's still people that didn't read to even see what the 9 years was. But the thing about our people was we were so fast to trying to dumb down their happiness. All we wanted to say was, oh, well, duh, she waited for 9 years.
Or somebody want to say, y'all want to forever dunk it, but would y'all have stayed with y'all man for 9 years? And that's not even what happened. That's not even the
catch of the story. And even still, maybe I would have stayed. You know what I'm saying?
And sidebar, can we talk about the people that's talking about they ain't want nobody to do their wedding for them and all this other things? Let me tell you something. We gonna watch all of this love. We gonna watch all these amazing things he did for this woman, and we gonna say what we wanted to do for ourselves, or what we would have picked, what flower, what dress. It's like that's so small on the grand scale of things, and then that's also implying that he doesn't know his woman, that he didn't talk to her, that he didn't talk to her friends, that he didn't ask her how I did, figure it out in different ways to make sure it was everything that she wanted. Like, don't you think somebody that's doing all this stuff and had this much preparation did not take their time and did not really try to see what he didn't surprise her and drive her to the courthouse, y'all.
And let's say this. Let me get into y'all women real quick, because what you won't do, and I'm gonna say what you won't do. What you won't do is dummy down what a man has done for you. Because you never want to make a man not feel like a man. So for you to get into your happy shoes and say, oh, I would have did that, or if he would have did that, I would have been like, well, we got to do.
Because you would have been left at that altar, honey. If a man surprised you and you up there acting about what flowers you would have picked, get your life.
For you to have a rebuttal about anything that man did, y'all, we can't even, some men don't text us back. Some men won't even take us on a date. And this man took the time. This man took a whole year to plan a whole wedding for a woman that didn't even care to have a wedding. She could have went to the courthouse for all she cared. And this man gave her
and here we are,
a wedding.
Outside looking in, talking about
a dream wedding. And you know what? Our dream weddings is what we plan, because we don't ever think a man could do something like that.
Oh, Chanel.
Girl.
Chanel. No, that's real. Like, for real.
Like, that's sad that as a woman, we never even think, I want my dream wedding to be my man figuring it all out. Because we don't even think that a man can take the initiative to do that. Like, that man, I have to applaud him, because I don't understand how so much backlash came from something so great. That is miraculous.
Well, because people just don't know how to be, happy happy for people. Like, even though they can say that's lovely, because people will say that's lovely, but it shouldn't be no but. If something is great, if something's amazing, if something was thoughtful, it is. It's not no but to it. Miss K5 said, life is a crazy cool journey, and as a believer in God, I just want to always stay in the mindset of I only want what God has for me. So whatever comes my way and how life plays out is a part of his master plan. Miss K5 also said, I hate when unmarried women pick on rings, wedding dresses, etc. Thank you. We all know we all have our own taste. That's just like when a girl posts a picture going out to the club. I can say I wouldn't wear that dress, or I can say I wouldn't do that.
Because it's relatable.
Yeah. No, not as relatable. I'm saying that's my opinion. We all know we would not do the same things. But the difference in me going to the club and me getting married is the same dress. We not living the same life. We not making a whole life what is a milestone. Going to the club, we can do that every Saturday.
Everybody can do that.
So don't pick at somebody, pick apart somebody that's getting married.
And it's like, y'all, we all still out here single, chilling. Forever Dunkin' was amazing. That was an amazing thing that hardly no man, and even men was fessing up like, yo, y'all can say what y'all want, but that was dope.
She said, and he said, this not to set the bar of what you need to do.
This is my bar.
You know your woman. He knew what he owed his woman, what they had been through, and what she wanted and what she deserved. It's like, that doesn't go for everybody. Everybody does not need a surprise wedding. Everybody may not want it. But he knew clearly
what she would want. And not even what she would want, but what she deserved.
And what she would appreciate.
And she appreciated it. Them doors opened. The first thing she did was thank you, God. And like, that's how you know that was real,
and
y'all.
Let me tell you one more other thing about them, because I stalked them on Instagram. They did something for the two of them that has branched off to bless the two of them separately.
Yep.
And if y'all don't know, he's a musician. He's like Grammy nominated stuff. And she is a trainer. She has a blog called The Good Thick, since she lost weight and got in shape. And it's like now they're going around. They were on a Willie Mo Jr. show. They're doing all these different shows promoting. She said she's been selling t-shirts, but now people know her. They got her hashtag, and now they building a brand separately because of something that they did together. I just think that was just so cool.
And we got a comment that said, yes, negative Nancy's. We don't give men enough credit, but a lot of people won't admit when they're dealing with a boy and not a man who can actually go the extra mile to ensure you're completely happy. It's just a part of the bitterness people have within. They can't be happy for someone if they ain't happy for themselves. So it creates negative outlooks on everyone's situation, and sadly can only be looked at as hate. Because that's what it comes down to. Because it's just like, in certain things, y'all, we should not have anything bad to say.
That's like my blog I wrote about Kim and Kanye when they got married.
We should not have anything bad to say about when somebody finds somebody that they love. Like, it don't matter what your personal opinion may be, but what you actually speak out and be vocal about, that's an issue.
Yeah,
and
what you choose to say.
To go left, that's where social media goes wrong. We confuse our opinions and what should be stated versus our opinions and what should be just kept to ourselves. Mm-hmm. But that's a whole nother deal.
Yes, everybody that's texting Chanel right on Mixler.
Yes, she is.
That would be ideal because of the distractions. So another question that I had that I put on Facebook was the 90-day rule. So the 90-day rule recently got a lot of attention from Steve Harvey's book about whatever the book was called.
Act like a man.
Think like a man. Act like a lady. Think like a man. And he was talking about the 90-day rule, and he compared it to when he got hired on at Ford or something, or GM, and you have 90 days until you get your benefits. So until they, believe that you're worth it and you go through that evaluation period and prove yourself, you don't get benefits with that company until 90 days. And he said that's how a woman, should operate in a relationship as far as having sex, should wait 90 days. So we put it up on, did anybody comment?
I had something. Oh, gosh. I forgot to talk about that, too.
No. They got on my nerves.
Okay, I did have.
But y'all can let us know what y'all think about the 90-day rule while we are looking for our comments. Because I don't think anybody told me on mine, to be honest.
Okay, Victoria Rose, a shout out to Vicky Rose.
Vicky Rose.
She commented and said she seen a meme relating to what we was talking about today. But the meme said, giving it up on the first night doesn't necessarily make you a hoe. Just like waiting 90 days won't necessarily make you a wife.
Mama.
And that basically goes back to the gist of it all about when a man, because we can't really put it on a woman. Not really, kind of. But when a man knows, he just knows to where, like John Legend and his wife, they had sex on the first night and they're married with a kid. Them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it very much so depends on the type of man you messing with and the type of man and where he is with you and all that, all on one date. it depends.
It depends on everybody, and it also depends, like we said about the time on, well, all these questions about time are all situational based. So it's like, in theory, the 90-day rule makes sense. But it doesn't always, I guess you could say that it don't always take 90 days. Because it's like, what they're saying you're looking for in those 90 days should be important sometimes depending on what phase of your life you're in. Like,
Correct.
you know, if you're trying to see if somebody gonna stick around, if that's what you want. If you're trying to see if somebody gonna stick around, do they really like me? Or, you know, do I really like them? Or where is this going? It depends on what you in it for to decide if that's what y'all gonna do.
Indeed. And I feel like the 90-day rule, I can understand if it's set into place, because what we may fail to realize is some women may have to set that standard for themselves, because some women fall very fast. And one thing Iyanla said, when women fall and they feel away, one way they want to express themselves is sexually. That's the first thing they'll do before they'll even say the things that they want to say. They'll express themselves through love and sex, you know, first. So some women have to set that standard for themselves so they don't continue to fall into these pointless sexual relationships with men.
So Ladarius said, I don't think it should be a time, but it's really like, what do we like each other for? So you saying if y'all like each other,
then y'all gotta be sexually attracted, which means y'all gotta have sex.
So you saying like if we not, then what we like each other for? Like what we doing? Answer that, Ladarius. Chastity said, can't just be happy for other people because you're not happy for themselves. True. That's back to the other point. Yeah, but so I do feel like the 90-day rule can be implemented for those who feel that it's necessary. Now, I can't sit here and say anything. I'm not dating anybody right now, but I can't also sit here and say I'm going to be on the 90-day rule. You know what I'm saying? I can't say anything like that. But what I will say is, getting in touch with a person on that spectrum at this age, it's like I can't do that if I don't see it going anywhere. And when I mean anywhere, I actually mean like a relationship. If we're not in a relationship before it happens, because you just can't keep giving off your bodily vibes to people in that way. Yeah, like you just can't keep giving yourself to people like that, which goes back to some women really needing that. And I feel like sometimes, for real, maybe the man should be the one to set that in play. Like, I was thinking that when you were saying that, I was just thinking that. I don't know how they expand on it, but I was thinking that.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because guys, sexually wise, not saying y'all can't turn nothing down, but a lot of times if you like somebody and if that's the option and they go with it, you going to take it.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, because sometimes the man puts himself in a situation where he makes the girl, quote unquote, all in and fall in.
And then it's like, well, she did, so and it's like, well, how about you get her there and then you say nothing?
Oh, that's true.
How about you use your authority for actually what you can use it for? And maybe that'll make her like you in a different light, because then what? Boom, that'll be something another man ain't never done.
Somebody has thought past this moment right now in the decision, right?
Right.
Basically. So it could be either one of y'all. Ladarius said, like, sex early ain't a must unless that's all we trying to do. Oh, why do we like each other for? Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just about sex? Like,
oh, okay. Oh, so we read it backwards.
Kind of, but we get it. Thank you for the clarification, Ladarius. Another one I got was kissing on the first date. What do you think, Chanel?
Whatever floats your boat.
This is for you.
Oh yeah. But I think I would. This is why I say I would, because some people that I may go on a date with, I've had conversations and communicated and FaceTimed and all this stuff before I actually have even decided to hang out with a person. So the first time, okay, boom, let's say I don't even live here. So the first time I hang out with them, if I have had countless conversations, 2-3 months or whatever, and we finally get to see each other, that's something that I may embark on. A kiss, yes. And one thing I will say about a kiss is it'll tell you a lot. That's me, true. Anyway. It'll tell you if it's just a kiss. It'll tell you if it's something there. It'll tell you if it's breath stink, but I hope you know that before you kiss them. Woo-hoo. That was just a joke. But yeah.
Well,
I'm down for the kiss.
I think.
Is a kiss bad to even do on the first date? Is that something that's like, bro, she kissed me
No.
on the first date?
I don't think it's. I don't think that it's like kissing on the first date the way we say sex on the first date. I think it's kissing on the first date in terms of. It's more so like, do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel that? Like, we're not gonna go say, oh my God, we kissing on the first date like that. But it's like, because first dates can be awkward. So not all the time do you even want to kiss the person. That doesn't mean you don't like them. But sometimes I told y'all before, the car hugs. God forbid he came and picked me up. We reaching over the gear shit.
It's like, I'm definitely not kissing you. Kiss. Like, you
So
didn't
it's
even
like,
get out with
there
me.
can be circumstances where you don't kiss because it's awkward, it's uncomfortable, and then there's times where you just ain't feeling that or whatever. But I think personally, I feel like I went through a kissing phase.
You did.
But now, I don't kiss on the first date. Like, it's just like, unless the person kiss me.
And then, yeah.
But I
yeah.
think the person has to kiss me.
Yeah, I don't think, because I wouldn't initiate the kiss.
Right,
on the
that was
first date.
that was the phase.
Oh, yeah, I know you. Yeah, I know you were an attacker. But I wouldn't. Yeah, if he initiated it, then probably. But I also would say I probably would need a couple of drinks, like, just to be relaxed, because I don't know. You never know. With me, I just don't know.
You need a couple of drinks. I think we talked about this before on here. Well, we talked about
Put it in the bag. Let's say that.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I would though.
What about anybody else? Do y'all care about kissing on the first date?
And Ladarius said that's a comfortable, and it is.
So guys, it's a comfortability thing. Is that all that's going to determine if you're going to try to kiss her on the first date? And then it also depends on what we doing on the first date. Yeah. Granted, there's always a goodbye, so you could kiss then. But it kind of, I feel like, what was the activities? What did we do? Because it's like some things may make you more like comfortable or more closer, put you closer together. So,
but I will say, fellas, if you get that, because guys know too.
Yeah.
If you're smart, you can get the vibe off of the certain things that are welcomed. Mm-hmm. And if it is welcome, I would not say shoot your shot.
I mean, yeah, it's a vibe thing. Guys would definitely shoot a shot, so I don't think we have to even say not shoot your shot. But I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
It goes back. The kiss is bad.
No, really. Maybe
because
but I'm saying if you nervous, like, or not nervous, but if you're not comfortable, like we saying, if the guy doesn't know. Because
if we kissing, it's a kiss. When you say a kiss, I know what kiss you mean. You mean a kiss, like a real tongue kiss. You're not talking about
goodbye hug tells if I should go in. That's true.
That's true. Because the
hug
is really
give a hug that's real.
Like, real laughs. Like, Kamar said you gotta go for it. See, that's I feel.
Go for it. You got it.
Go for it. You got to. Shot advance. But yeah, I think it's
like, is she lingering or pulling away?
And then if she's pulling away, she definitely wants to get in the house, and don't call her back for a date. She's over it.
You know, I think is the funny thing. I think is when you're hugging somebody. If you shorter, well, usually the guy's taller. You gotta look like you. You have to look at your face.
So it's kind of like you looking.
Yeah, because if you hug like chest to cheek. Then my cheek is on your chest. Then if we're gonna kiss, I have to look up to let you know that I know that we about to.
Right. So really, it might make it seem like I'm the one initiating the kiss, because it's like I don't want to walk away without looking up, but I also don't want to look up and make you think I want to kiss. So really, it's one of them type things like I'm just looking up to see if you want to kiss me. Do you want to kiss me? Like,
yeah, because he can still be looking over your head, and you're like, and you basically like hit him in the chin with your foot. Kamar said, "Don't want to seem like no punk." Sure. I mean, I don't think nobody would say you a punk. Not on the first date. If you can't kiss on the first date, nobody not gonna talk about it.
Not at this age. I'm not calling Pierre to say, girl, he ain't try to kiss me.
Now, I did date a guy, which we talked about before, who did not try to kiss me.
And it was a problem.
And when we got to date 3, it was like, we had did a lot of things. We had did a couple of things. I can't really tell you what date it was, because we just was doing a lot of stuff. But, I mean, it was to the point where it was like, all right. Like, I was just giving him a hug, like, bye, because, you know, I don't know, and I couldn't tell, and then you don't want to be the girl that's like, am I being fast?
Yeah,
and you don't know if he's trying to be respectful, but then you like, you know he likes you because he keeps talking to you and taking you out and stuff, but it's like, okay, and that ended up really being a demise, I feel like, because then I wasn't attracted to him no more. He was a nice guy, but it just wasn't working.
Because it's just like... Because at some point, the respect that a man has for a woman, it becomes off way too much after a while. It's like, it ain't that much respect in the world. Like, you have to try something. And I think he might have just been nervous. That too. And it's like, even if you're nervous by date 3, like, you know why, you kind of know me right now.
Forehead kisses are very nice.
And a forehead kiss will win before you try to kiss me on my lips. That's what I'm going to call Pierre and be like, and girl,
he kissed me on the forehead.
Before I left, before he walked me to the door, he kissed me on the forehead.
Oh my God, it was so endearing.
And that's how you get a text that night. Thank you for taking me out. I really enjoyed it. Shout out to the forehead kiss.
Yeah, forehead kisses. Everybody's saying the best, man.
Mm-hmm.
Forehead kiss. Another question I have. Oh, did I already do that one? Yes. Moving in together.
It varies for people.
well, we also talked about before living together before you get married. Is that even a thing? But, and what did you say about that? What was your feelings?
And I think when we talked about it the first time, I was on some like I would want to for my personal reasons. But being with my sister and while she's in her process of getting married and her boyfriend not living together, but just having time together, you know what I'm saying? I understand why you wouldn't. I don't knock anybody that does it, but I understand because it's just like a completion. Mm-hmm. Like once we're married, now we're gonna come home and we're gonna live together. Like we're doing everything together new. It's not like we testing this out first and doing this because it all is in respect of order. Yeah. And sometimes when we, not for everybody, but sometimes when you take things out of order and you kind of touch A with Z before A and B touch, it's kind of like we should have just, because this, you know, it kind of messed stuff up when really in our reality, it's like I wouldn't have a problem with not living with them.
And real quick, Miss K-Bar said, she sent a text to a guy, said, you can kiss me next time we hang out, you know. That's real because we be knowing. Yeah. We be knowing when you trying to kiss somebody and you don't.
And they be a little nervous and it's like,
yeah, you kind of gotta let them know, like, it's cool, like, cause sometimes the respect thing really does come on. I don't know if she's feeling it, like, I don't know if she's feeling it, so you kind of gotta let them know. So what I was gonna say about living together, no, it gives you something to look forward to after marriage. I think that it's true. I agree with that. But I mean, like you said, I could see if people did want to live together, and people always have, you know, different circumstances. But I know, like, one couple, I'm going to a wedding this weekend, actually, and they have a townhouse. I think they've had it for this month, I assume, or maybe last month. But they've been putting stuff in it, and, you know, like, they're furnishing it or whatever, but they're still living where they're living. So they're kind of like, you know, slowly merging their two lives and moving there or whatever. But how long? Okay, so let's say if we were going to live together, would you live with somebody if y'all weren't engaged?
Hypothetically
Listeners,
speaking,
please let us know.
Hypothetically speaking, past what we already have answered, right? So would I live with somebody in some other space? Yes, I would have before in life.
No, I said, what? I asked you, would you live with them if y'all weren't engaged?
Yeah, I'm saying yes. Before in life, I felt like I would. Yes. Today.
Well, I meant because the way we talking about it, as you were saying about Janae and stuff, and I was saying, but what about there's not an engaged? Like, we're not waiting until we get married to do it, but we're not even engaged yet. So I'm saying, like, we haven't.
Like,
some people,
if we boyfriend and girlfriend, and we just want to move in together.
Because some people will say, like, we need to be talking about marriage, or, you know, on the way. But, like, what if just your boyfriend wanted to move in with you, or y'all moving together?
I think it will at least need to be engaged.
Ladarius agrees. He says no living before marriage, maybe engaged.
Yeah, engaged.
Yeah, and
because that's just way too much.
Yeah, and the timeline can get real lapsed too with engagement. Like, if we supposed to get married, my lease end a month before we get married, then maybe I do have to live with you technically. Yeah. You know, whatever. But I also think when you living together and y'all just engaged living, not engaged living, no.
Did it before, won't do it again.
Yeah, no.
Do your best life learn lesson.
Yeah, I just think it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just too, because then it's like I'm not. If marriage is something as a woman that you're looking forward to, me giving you everything that marriage is.
I don't know why somebody would want to live with me. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not why somebody would want to live with me, but why I would want to live with somebody.
But me giving you everything that we looking forward to is pointless.
How did we get to this conversation? Was it like a financial thing? Was it like I'm always over here,
you're
always over here?
And maybe it was a financial thing. For some, because it works. We're not down on anybody that does it at all.
Okay, Kamar said only if she was following me for a new job in a different city. Now that definitely has to be an engagement. I'm gonna tell you that.
If she was following, yeah. Now the ring is next.
Yeah,
because she's making a move with you.
If she's moving her life for you, you're on a path somewhere. You better be looking at rings.
And we talked about that before too, as far as. Should a man or should a woman move with the man or with the woman? But y'all can check that out on YouTube. Small.
Yeah, but I think that's a good point. What you said. And Miss K5 said it would be to save money for the wedding. Yeah, if y'all moved in together. Chastity said, I would like to hear from guys if living together before engagement prolongs the ring. Like, is it a feeling of, well, I already got her, so what's the rush?
Right, which is what I was just thinking too. Like, if that's something that us women are looking forward to.
Please.
How does me moving in with him and all that?
Because that's what every girl thinks.
If I move in with him here, no, that's not gonna hurt.
No, No, I'm saying the opposite. Like, why they wouldn't move in with them.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's gonna, you know.
Delay.
Yeah, so it's like, is that really true? Or is it just on a normal timeline of the guy being ready, period? Because I guess I would think if you don't know, or you haven't got to the point where you're looking at rings and trying to propose to somebody, I'm like at our age right now, why would you want to live with somebody that wants to, that you know that's what they want?
Ladarius said no, it's a rush then, because what the heck I got left to do now that we living together?
I don't know about that, but it's interesting.
I get Ladarius saying that.
Yeah, no, I know what he's saying.
Him.
And yeah, and I feel like it's girls that would do both. That would be like, okay, I ain't about to be just checking up with you forever and da. It could be that type of pressure, or it can be the girl that, like we said, is apprehensive about moving in because that means he's not gonna feel the need to make it official or whatever.
I just feel like if we boyfriend and girlfriend and we start living together, it's just like, okay, now what?
And girls want to feel like, you know, what's the word? I don't want to say validated, but
yes,
that's not the word I'm looking for. But
secured.
Yeah, secure, committed. You know, they want to feel that you all in, basically.
And that may be a reason why some girls do move in with the guy, or they do move together, because it's like security. Like, girl, yeah, we live together now. Boo, you know. And we don't only have one guy listening either. Kamar. Paco.
Okay, another one was, now this is one that was on the list that is actually really relevant to time. Time is a real factor. It's discussing having kids.
Because us women, it's almost time for us to start freezing our eggs.
Dr. Oz said.
Dr. Oz said.
But for real though, no, it's two reasons why this is real life. Because one, this person may not want kids, and we need to know that right now so that we can see where. You
need to know that on the first date, second date.
We just need to know that, you know, that if that comes up, don't think that it's gonna change. I feel like that would be the worst mistake. But secondly, medically, biologically,
time-wise,
you need to know if this person's willing to have kids. You know, what's this move? Do we want to be married before we have kids? You know, because it might get to a point where it's gonna be harder for you to have kids. These joints falling out every month. Oh my gosh.
That's not like no, I would have said.
No, that's crazy. But yeah. So how soon would you start talking to somebody about
kids? I think that's in the get to know spectrum. Not necessarily having kids with you, but it's like, do you want kids? Like, that's an important question, because if your answer is no, I don't want to be with you.
Yeah.
Because I want kids, and that's something that doesn't change. If a person says,
don't try to change.
Yeah, right. You can't be the person that you can't change. If a person wants to be. If he tells you he's not looking for a relationship on a date, if he tells you he doesn't want kids, or she, men or woman, if they don't want kids, if they don't want to get married, it's certain things that you should really pay attention to, and not to think like, well, you ain't never met me before, so you will want that. And it's like, no, listen to people when they tell you what they do and what they don't want, because there is a chance that feeling will never change.
So Darius said, well, my kid talk is early. What, did you have a kid?
Yeah, because you already got kids, so.
But yeah, I just feel like, you know, don't think you can change nobody that thinks that. But I think, like you said, it kind of come up in conversation, like people just talk about family, because you find out what's important to people and what people, you know, how they see themselves just in regular conversation and things that happen. So you'll know, like.
And shout out to everybody still commenting on our Facebook statuses about how long they were together or dated or whatnot. Chad said that's definitely get to know spectrum. We talking about kids out the gate. If I want kids and he don't, or vice versa, then clearly there's no future. So what's the point of prolonging? Or unless you just feel like this is a great person to continue to get to know, and I know what he wants and what he don't want, so you can set your own boundaries for yourself.
True. That's all the questions.
Hey, Joelle, girl, shout out to you and your 1 year relationship. Happy anniversary! Hey. Anybody else celebrating love? Happy anniversary to y'all. If it's coming up, if it passed, whatever, y'all know we rock with it.
Yes. And
however long it took y'all, we appreciate y'all waiting for y'all selves. Okay.
Yes, quote of the week day.
Quote of the week
coming up.
Yeah.
And just so y'all know, we low key, I think this might be the only show we do this month, y'all. We got a lot of weddings coming up, and our weekends are kind of a little jammed. So we'll let y'all know. Stay posted to our social media. But Quote of the day.
Okay. Everything. Look at them showing love.
Okay.
See, that's how you build up. The quote of the day is, "We look up at the same stars and see such different things." And I thought that went with the topic today because you can see so many people, so many different people in their relationships doing different things their own way. But what works for them works for them. Just like me and Pierre can be standing outside looking up in the sky. I might see the Big Dipper. She might see a dog. But we both see something that's beautiful. And it's like, as long as somebody is heading towards making things beautiful, it don't matter what it look like. It don't matter how long you take. It don't matter how many stars in the sky. It just matter about what I see and how I see it.
Yeah, and I think when you said it, I pictured it as dreams. Like, everybody doesn't dream as big as you. Everybody doesn't see the possibilities that you see. Like, everybody looks at situations different. Like, some people, the glass is half full. Sometimes it's half empty. And it's like, that's no fault to your own. That's no fault to them. And that doesn't make me any better because I see something different. But it's like, you know, we all have the same. I feel like we all have the same chance, opportunities.
We all can see it.
Yeah, people don't always see it or even try to pursue it or believe in it. That'd be a bigger thing because some people might know, but they really don't believe.
Yep. So we look up at the same stars and see such different things. And shout out to Chastity. Her quote of the day is, "It ain't tricking if you got it." And y'all can go back to our YouTube. We actually just showing that also. Shout out to us for being cool. Miss K5, I text you and let you know about that. We're in discussion with the shirts and things. Also, if anybody else wants shirts that hasn't told me they want the shirt,
let us know.
Please let us know. You can find us on social media at Fair Game Radio. You can text me if you got my number. I'm on Facebook, Chanel Parsons. Pierre is on Facebook, Pierre Current. Y'all can look us up and get in touch with us however y'all may need to, just to let us know that y'all may still want the shirts, because we're going to try to do that ASAP. So we will be trying to do that for you, Miss K5.
Yes, but that's a wrap today.
And prayers to everybody affected with the Hurricane Matthew. Also, it's another one forming called Hurricane Nicole, but hopefully that'll stay tropical storm. But prayers out to everybody. If you guys have family or anything like that, prayers up for them, and we hope for a quick recovery and things like that. Ladarius, you need a shirt, we got you.
And shout out to everybody that's getting married this month. Shout out to Jeriah and Brianna. I'm going to their wedding tomorrow. Shout out to Jamal and Charnel. Shout out to Janae and Pat. It's love is in the air. And
Lit City.
Like, it's going down.
Lit City. Fall into love.
Yes, I'm Pierre Javon.
I'm Nelly P.
And we're Fair Game.
Life is not fair.
But we are.
Holla, make you want to squalor.